Action!
Hey everybody, welcome to My Blind Mama's Messy Kitchen. I am Jerry, and today we're going to be making some easy beef stroganoff. My family loves it, so I hope you do too. And if you are new to our channel, welcome. And we hope you hit the subscribe button and come back and visit us again for more fun videos. So let's get started, shall we?
Action!
She's so cute when she says that. So what I have here is a skillet on medium heat, and I like to break the ground beef up with my hands. It's just easy for me as a blind person to use my hands to break it up instead of trying to break it up in the skillet, because then inevitably I wind up with really large chunks of meat and I don't want that. So I'm just breaking it up with my hands as I drop it into my pan. And I've got about probably just a little over a pound, I'm not exactly sure, of ground beef. A little bit more to go. Still just a little bit frozen in the middle. That's all I'm doing right now. This is so good. You can also make beef stroganoff with stew meat or chopped steak. Usually I do that in the crock pot, but this is just a super fast way to do it. And not too pricey. Sometimes stew meat and roasts and things like that could be pretty pricey. Break it up a little bit more. A couple more pieces in there. Wipe my hands off real quick. Okay. And then I just come in with my spatula. I know I've shown this a few times, but I'll do it again because I know I have new subscribers that are visually impaired or blind. And I just I kind of put my hand closer to the base of the spatula than the handle. It's just something I do. It's like I can feel the meat better if I do it that way. And I just kind of come through and chop. Just kind of all over the place, no real pattern. You can do a pattern if you want. Just kind of chop it around. And I'll just let this cook on this side for a few minutes. And then I'll come in and flip it when I can feel with the spatula that it's browning. I'll flip it around. So stay tuned.
Action!
Okay, so I can tell by feel that it's all cooked up. I just keep flipping it every couple minutes. I go in a clockwise. I start at the top, like where would be 12 o'clock, and I scoop under and I flip towards me. And then I go to what would be probably 1 or 2 o'clock, and I flip under, and I go towards me a little. And then as I get towards the bottom, I flip under. Well, I mean, I slide the spatula under, and then I flip forward, and just keep going around every couple minutes until I can really feel by running my spatula across it that it's all good and cooked. And yes, I have overcooked it a little bit before, but c'est la vie. So, what I have in this bowl is some seasoning blend I mixed up that is a little over 2 tablespoons of dehydrated onion. I just went on ahead and used what I had left. Now I'm out, so I need to remember to put that on the list. I use it a lot. A teaspoon of onion powder, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, a half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and probably a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. I didn't add any salt because the cream of mushroom soup I'm going to use is salty enough. So I'm just going to dump that in my beef. I would have used a little beef bouillon powder too, but I'm out. So I got to put that on the list. Yeah, I got to get this cooking because it's dry. Since I drained the grease off of it, I got to get this going here. Just stir it around. At this point you could use a spoon, a mixing spoon, but I still am using my spatula. Ooh, that smells good. And now, what we're gonna add to it, I'm gonna turn my heat down some. What I'm gonna add to it now is, here we go. A can of cream of mushroom soup. I did buy the lower sodium one, but still, it still has a good amount of sodium in it. I want to learn how to make my own because it's so much better than this canned stuff, full of preservatives and crap. But I do like it. We do use it. Get a little bit of water for it. I just use the can to put some water in. Stir around. There we go. Now it's not so dry. Mix that around. And at this point, you can add one of those small cans of mushroom pieces or fresh mushrooms, but I don't have any. Fresh mushrooms would be great. So, got that in there. Now what I'm going to add is half a cup of sour cream. I feel like this is the star of the show, the sour cream. If you don't like the cooking noises, I'm sorry. There are people who don't like the cooking noises. I like noises. When you're blind, you kind of, let me wash my hands real quick. There's some noises you just appreciate. And I do love cooking noises, kitchen noises. I love it. Okay, get that all incorporated. Now I'm just going to let that sit there and simmer while I get my noodles going. So we'll be right back.
Action.
Okay, so over here I've got about 4 or 5 cups of water boiling. I didn't measure it. I just fill it up till about an inch or 2 away from the top. If you're visually impaired, blind, a good way to know your pot is boiling, if you don't have one of those indicators, is listening for it, of course. But you don't want to assume it's boiling when it's just starting to make that hissing sound. I've been known to throw things in when it's not quite boiling yet. You want to wait until you really hear those bubbles. So I don't know if Kate wants to get closer so you can hear those bubbles without steaming up the lens. So that, and you can use your spoon or whatever you're using to lay on the edge of the pot, and if you really feel it rumbling, you know, that's what I call it, then you know it's good to go. And if you put it in a little early, you know, like I said, c'est la vie. So what I have here is half a bag of extra wide egg noodles. I'm just gonna find the pot and carefully dump them all in. Oh, we got one that doesn't want to go. There we go. Oh!
And now it's on the floor.
It escaped. Then I got my pasta spoon. I'm just gonna give that a good stir. I did salt the water, probably half a tablespoon of salt. I saw a chef say that you want your pasta water salty like the sea, but I don't do that. I don't put that much. And I did put about a tablespoon of olive oil in the water. That helps to keep it from sticking because this is not a non-stick pot. And it also helps so that it doesn't boil over so easily. It's like a science project. It's so cool. And then another tip is one thing that makes me very nervous is a boiling over pot of water. If you lay your wooden spoon, if you have a wooden spoon or spatula, and it'll fit across the top of your pot, lay it across the top, and it will help prevent boiling over. Just be careful that you carefully remove the spoon because a lot of steam will come out when you do that. So when these noodles are done, we'll let you know.
Action.
Okay, so the noodles are done. The way I check to make sure they're done is I take my pasta spoon and I take a couple noodles out, put it on a saucer, let it cool off for a few seconds, and then I taste them. I cannot stand an overcooked noodle. It just gives me the heebie-jeebies. So I'll do another video sometime on how, as a blind cook, how I drain the water off of the noodles and the type of strainer that I use in my sink and all that. That's another video for another time. So then I added 2 tablespoons of butter to the noodles. I put the noodles back in the pot, added 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'm just stirring that around. And now I'm going to take all my meat mixture that's in this skillet, and here comes the tricky part. Carefully, I find the edge of the pot with the bottom of my skillet, use my spoon as a guide to see how much room I have. Move this forward a little bit. To see how much room I have for the gap, slide my skillet a little bit to the left, and I start slowly and carefully pouring the meat into the noodles. I don't know if you can see from that angle, Caitlin.
Yeah.
Oh, the skillet's heavy. I'm trying to do it with my left hand, and I am not left-handed, so this is not. Okay, I almost got it out. Scrape my skillet a little bit. Whew. Okay, ta-da! Give it a good stir. I made a lot. Maybe we'll have leftovers tomorrow.
I'm surprised that all fit in the pot.
Me too. Sometimes I'll use a bigger pot, but this one was fine today. So just give it a good stir. Make sure all that sauce and meat gets in there with the noodles. I haven't decided what side we're gonna have yet. Maybe just some baby carrots, or I'll steam some vegetables, and we have some garlic bread to go with it. So there you go, guys. That's a super easy way to make quick beef stroganoff. And I don't know, my family loves it. In fact, Caitlin requested it for this week, so that's why I got this stuff to make it. So if you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. It helps us out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already, because we would love to have you back in our messy kitchen. Share it if you want, that'd be great too. And don't forget to always look at the bright side, even if you're blind. Have a great day.